Hello, everyone. This is John Jenkins, and I'm bringing you another Kickstarter idea from my Kickstarter channel. Okay, here's the idea: 100. Well, okay, I was gonna say 100 Americans reading a book, not the same book, but a hundred Americans reading, and you know, then I was like, maybe I should take the 100 out of there because it shouldn't be, predicated on how many people are there. Basically the idea is that I get it. I started Kickstarter to raise up some money so that I can buy a venue so that I can have a whole bunch of books in a venue, and then people just come over there all and just spend the whole day reading. That was my idea. Now, I was gonna start. My original idea was that I was gonna have. I was gonna call it 100 Black Men Reading a Book. And I wanted to make it was it was based off of my ASMR series on my main channel, which is Black Guy Reading a Book, which is me reading a book. So I was gonna have an event where I have like 100 black guys. Uh, Presumably in Chicago. I was gonna have 100 black guys come over and read a book, but I'm starting to move away from this sort of black stuff. I gotten a lot of flat. I mean, somebody brought up the fact that I keep saying this, black that, and it's not just that this can be considered racist, but uh, it's also a statement of reality. It's a statement of reality, which is that I will get the most benefit if I'm more inclusive. I will get the most benefit if I'm more inclusive. Now, then there's the elephant in the room, which is the Black James Bond, and I really don't regret that because you know. Instead of sitting around and complaining that every other race of people doesn't make a Black James Bond, I just went ahead and did something for myself to bring myself, up to a higher level. So um, I didn't want to, put anybody else out. I didn't want to have to force somebody else to do something for me if I could do it for myself. That's what the Black James Bond was all about. Is that everybody was just sitting around saying, why doesn't Sam Mendes make us look good in the movies? Why? I mean, I'm like, you got you got a laptop with you know word processing software. You can make yourself look good on film. Write your own script, and I was putting my money where my mouth was with that script. So it wasn't about this whole black black utopia or whatever. This whole thing. Uh, it was about doing for self, being self reliant, and so I don't I don't apologize for that. But yeah, I guess I could call it Americans reading. Obviously, I would have to cut it off to American citizens because I'm not gonna have people like coming into the country illegally just to read a book, and then no, I'm not. So I gotta cut it off somewhere. So it's gonna be American citizens, Americans reading. That's what it's gonna be called, Americans reading. So we're all gonna get into like a meeting hall, a convention center, something like that, and I'm gonna have a bunch of books on the table. You know, I totally forgot the name of that book, which was called the School of Life called it the greatest book of the 20th century, which is also the longest novel ever written. Uh, I forgot the name of it. I could have that book. I could have Tale of Genji. I could have um, uh, Leo Tolstoy. It, what is that? Man, War and Peace. War and Peace. I can't believe I forgot that name. War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Uh, Anna Karenina, and then obviously, Moby Dick. Obviously, I have never read those books. If I were to add the books that I read, I would have stuff like short stories of William Faulkner, uh, uh, Bonnie, uh, the Broker by John Grisham, uh, uh, the Valley of Kings by Cecilia Holland. But I probably won't have the books that I read. I'll probably just have the Leo Tolstoy's, you know, um, um, the Tale of Genji, uh, the the really popular books, I guess, because my taste in books is not mainstream. I mean, nowadays somebody reading William Faulkner is like, okay, but so I have a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of books, and of course people can bring their own, and obviously, of course, everybody's gonna want to have their smartphones on and talking on the smartphones and so on and so forth. And I'm going to have to say, you can read on your smartphone, you can text on your smartphone, but while other people are reading, I don't want you, you know, interrupting and all this other stuff. No, you can't do that. I want you to, so that's my idea. Americans Reading. That's what it's going to be called. Americans Reading. The Kickstarter will just build up enough money to buy the venue, and from that we just go from there. So let me know what you think about this Kickstarter idea, and you know uh, I've got more Kickstarter ideas coming. So have a nice day and bye.